International Monetary Fund team visited Botswana's capital city, Gaborone, this year to conduct its economic consultation discussions with the country. The team focused on reviewing recent economic developments as well as the prospects and policies that's to ensure continued macroeconomic stability and, of course, growth. For more on this and the IMF's interest in Botswana, we cross over to Washington now, where I'm joined by Lamin Lee, Botswana Mission Chief at the IMF. Lamin, thanks for joining us today. Of course, you've just got back from your trip to Botswana. What's your takeaway, firstly, your impression of being in the city right now since you last visited it? I mean, do you see much progress on the ground?
Good morning from Washington. Thanks for having me. In terms of recent developments since the last time we visited, one of the key highlights of our mission was that after 2 consecutive years of strong growth in the aftermath of the global financial crisis, growth has moderated in 2012, which continued in the first quarter of 2013. This was mainly reflective of the very weak performance on the mining sector of the economy. At the same time, the non-mining sector of the economy, in particular construction and services, continues to register strong growth, which has partly offset the subdued performance of the mining sector.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we know when we're talking about mining in Botswana, it's still very much all about diamonds. Just pulling out some figures from Q1 there, you saw rough diamond exports at around $719 or almost $720 million in Q1. That down substantially from 2012. And then also polished diamond exports at $102 million, down from $160.5 million in the same period, Q1 2012. So what we have seen is a fall in diamond exports from the latest data. So what's the outlook now for diamonds, for the diamond industry? Because you've also got the likes of the De Beers Diamond Trading Company re-establishing itself in Botswana. So that could be a positive as well.
The mining sector, in particular, as you mentioned, the diamond sector continues to register very subdued performance in Botswana. This is largely linked to the uncertain external environment. As you know, a bulk of Botswana's diamonds goes to advanced economies and emerging markets. So this is partly one of the reasons of the moderation in growth. But as I mentioned, we are forecasting a growth rate of about 4% this year, underpinned by the relatively strong performance in the non-mining sector, including the construction and services sector.
Yeah. We're looking at a world right now where you've got the US seemingly performing better than expected, to the point that the Federal Reserve, they're looking to take quantitative easing out the system. Concerns, though, around China, still Europe in the doldrums. So the global growth picture right now is mixed, and there are still some concerns around demand for diamonds in this environment. Do you feel that the government has built up the right fiscal buffers right now, or has plans to build up fiscal buffers to be able to protect itself?
This is actually one of the cornerstones of the 2013 and 14 budget. The underlying principle of the budget, which we support, is to steer consolidation in a manner that is growth-friendly, given the uncertainties in the external environment. So the focus of the budget is, rightly on trimming down non-productive spending, especially in the area of current spending, while at the same time preserving growth-promoting capital spending. So in that respect, the budget does strike a right balance, given the uncertain external environment. I should also mention that Botswana's overall fiscal positions remain strong, and the overall external position remains strong, and so it has sizable buffers, to respond to shocks.
Mm-hmm. What about, the quality of that spend and how well the money is being spent? Because you talk about, capital projects there, growth promoting capital projects. Do you think that execution is up to scratch in Botswana right now in terms of using money that is, brought in through the tax system efficiently?
This has actually been another cornerstone of the government's budget, and also the 10th National Development Plan, the midterm review. That in fact, the key objective of the government is to increase the effectiveness and the efficiency, of the government. So included in that remit is the concept of improving the quality of spending, and also improving the efficiency of the tax system. So, that as an overarching theme should also, help in terms of supporting the key goal of, the government's policies in terms of returning Botswana to a period of strong growth, underpinned by, robust productivity and enhanced competitiveness. So those are the key guiding principles that underpins the government's agenda on improving the quality of spending and improving the efficiency of the tax system.
I mean, what do you see as more important right now to Botswana's growth and returning to those strong growth numbers that we saw in the prior 2 years, 2010, 2011? Is it going to be a function of global growth and strong global growth, or can Botswana is Botswana, shielded to some degree from what's taking place globally, and they can do it on their own or through the help of, intra-Africa trade, intra-Africa developments?
Certainly being a highly open economy, and where your major trading partners are, in the advanced economies and to some extent the large emerging markets, Botswana, cannot fully shield itself from developments in the global economic arena. But as I said, domestically, in the non-mining sector, growth continues to be strong. In the medium to long term, the agenda for the government has emphasized in the recent midterm review of the 10th National Development Plan is to put in place policies, reform policies that would underpin improvement in overall productivity of the economy and enhance competitiveness. Mm-hmm. So at the same time, those policy initiatives have also stressed the need to enhance job creation and diversify the economy gradually away from the diamond sector or the mineral sector. Mm-hmm. So those principles and policies together should help in terms of supporting growth over the medium term.
So what type of support is the IMF offering to Botswana right now?
Our relations with Botswana, of course, as you know, once a year we hold the Article 4 consultations, and within that cycle we look at policies, we look at recent developments, and also take into account our cross-country experience in terms of what works best in terms of policies in other middle-income countries. So our relations has actually centered on policy advice underpinned by analytic work that we do across a range of middle-income countries. In addition to that, we've also tried to assist in the area of capacity building, in the area of tax reform, in the area of public financial management, in the area of financial systems. So our relations with Botswana, has centered in the area of policy advice and capacity building.
In that sense, when we're talking about capacity building, are you looking to lend money as the government requested loans from the IMF, or is that the nature of the relationship as well?
As I mentioned at the beginning, Botswana's fiscal and external positions, are very strong. It's very sizable fiscal buffers, very sizable reserve buffers. So, we do not anticipate that type of relationship.
Mm-hmm. The last issue I'd just like to bring up with you is one that was highlighted in your report, the growth of unsecured lending in the country. You also highlight the need for greater financial inclusion, and of course, unsecured lenders often come on board because of the need to create loans for those who can't generally access them. Is this something that's becoming more and more of a problem in Botswana, or is it an isolated issue?
In broad terms, Botswana's banking system is highly profitable and is well capitalized with very low non-performing loans in the system. So that really puts Botswana's banking system in a very strong position to smooth shocks, given the large capital buffers of the banking system. At the same time, over the last few years, the government has put emphasis on the concept of improving financial access, enhancing financial inclusion as part of the broader development agenda of inclusive growth, which we support. They are also, accompanying those measures with measures that they have put in place to ensure and to preserve the stability of the financial system. In more recent years, as you mentioned, the growth of household lending has increased somewhat. The government is fully cognizant of this. They are monitoring this very closely. In particular, the recent establishment of the Financial Stability Division in the Bank of Botswana and the greater collaboration and coordination between the two regulators in the financial system, namely the Bank of Botswana and the Non-Financial Institutions Regulatory Authority, are measures that we support and that should help in terms of tempering the rate of growth of household lending.
Mm-hmm. So you have, of course, highlighted that to the government right now. They've got measures there which they're looking to implement. Taking a step back from factors that they can't control, and we talked about it being certainly an open economy, very much affected by global growth dynamics. Looking at the factors that are in the control of the Botswana government, what concerns you the most? That they aren't perhaps putting enough attention on, that there are areas where they're slipping up in when it comes to managing the country?
Over the years, we have emphasized in our various consultations that one of the key areas of strength of the government of Botswana has been very prudent implementation of macroeconomic policies. And this has served the country well. It has always put Botswana in a very strong position to respond to shocks. So overall, in terms of policy implementation, that is an area of strength. Of course, the economy continues to have the challenge of relatively high unemployment and also the long-term challenge of diversifying the economy away from minerals and looking at new, other engines of growth. So those are the challenges. But I believe that the recent midterm review of the 10th National Development Plan and the 2013 budgets have really, focused on policies that should put Botswana in a very strong position to address those challenges.